Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one here is the PSA grading breakdown for the 29 card value bulk reveal that I had posted on my channel the other day. So let's get straight into it. This is the first one of these I've ever done, but this is kind of how I like to look at my PSA submissions once I've gotten them back. So we've got the card, what I purchase it for, which I usually round to the nearest $5 just to keep it clean. The current value of the card, or in some cases, if it's highlighted green, what I sold the card before it got back for. We've got the net value, which if I've sold it, I can take, eBay fees. Otherwise, I just take 85% of the card value. And then a PSA offer. I fill in the PSA offers. Highlighted greens are the ones I accepted. But that's just how I can determine which ones I want to accept. So to start it off, we've got the Machado PSA 9 blue. This one is going to be a long-term hold for me. But I bought for $35. My guesstimate on a PSA 9, the card value, I'm just putting it at $20. PSA offer was only $13.85, so that's not one I would be interested in selling. He's a future Hall of Famer. And then we also had his refractor PSA 9. Purchased that one for $50. I feel like recent comps on the refractor are around $60 in a 9. Card value, if it's not green, is based upon recent comps, not just what I think I can get out of it, unless there are no comps. PSA offer of $49.24. Again, to me, that was a little bit low. All right, first PSA offer accepted here on the 2014 Topps Jose Ramirez. This one got a PSA 10. Purchase it for $15. The grading cost is about $25 per card. So I was all into this card for about $40. PSA offer accepted of $196.40. The reason I accepted this, recent comps were going for around $225. And you can see up here in the formula cell that for me, usually I take about 85% of comps is what I'm going to get for a card after fees and tax and all that sort of stuff. So I projected that I'd be able to get $190, $125 off eBay. PSA offers higher than that. That's an obvious accept to me unless I want to hold the card or keep the card for my personal collection. I will also accept if it's within a couple percent, just because I don't have to do any work. It doesn't have to get shipped out by me. I don't have to package it. I don't have to worry about the card getting lost in the mail, which very rarely happens, knock on wood. But once I accept a PSA offer, I get the money straight to my bank account, and usually it hits your account before you even get the cards back. So it's a quick way to help pay off your order just to stay on top of stuff. Not that it's necessary, but it's always nice to have the order paid for by the time you get it back, just to keep your cash flowing. This Jose Ramirez got a PSA 6, no PSA offer. I sold it for $12, got $11.15 out of it. And then the one that was a PSA 8, bought that one for $20 as well. I sold it for $35, so I got about $31. PSA offered $15. I'd projected that I could probably sell it for $30, so I was looking at, maybe $25 net value, which is significantly higher than the PSA offer, and, I got $16 more out of that card. The red hot foil, Jose Ramirez, PSA 8. This is his rookie. It's a pretty nice color match. Bought that for $160 raw. I had a little slight problem with the foil in the corner, which knocked it down to an 8. I was really hopeful for a 9. But that one sold for $220, net value $185 on that. Did not get a PSA offer. Likely wouldn't have accepted it just based off of some of the lower grade Jose Ramirez ones I had. They probably would have offered me like $100 is my guess. 2014 Topps Chrome Jose Ramirez PSA 9. That's one I paid $30 for, so I was all in for $55. Made money on a 9 and a Chrome. Made good money on it, over $20. Accepted an offer for $78.55, which you can see is higher than my projected net value. So to me, that's an obvious offer I'd accept. And then another really good offer I accepted was this PSA 9 Lindor update. This is his rookie debut update card. Not his true Topps Chrome base rookie. Bought that for $10, so I was on for about $35. Still made $7 off it. PSA offer was, 57 cents lower than my projected net value. But like I mentioned before, I didn't have to do any of the work, so very happy with that. Ketel Marte Gold PSA 10. Criminal offer of $29. I ended up selling it for $50 on my eBay store, so I ended up netting about $15 higher there, $43.28 after that $50 sale. This one has not sold yet, the 2016 Sapphire Ketel Marte. No really good comps. I bought it raw for $40, but there's only 250 of them. Card value I've got projected at just only $20 since I got the PSA 8. 2020 Bowman Best Jaron Duran Gold Auto. Purchased that raw for 40 bucks, so I'm all in for about 65. I'm just calling it a $50 expected sale value. Not really sure what that 9's going to go for there. Accepted back-to-back offers on the Scooble, so I pulled these back in 2021, so I was only into them for the grading cost, so just lost a couple bucks on them. You can see I sold them for about $22 a piece. This is one that I accepted just because it's a PSA 9. I didn't know, they were selling for like 20 to 35 bucks, so I just valued them at 30. But I'm not going to fight over $3 with, especially with some of these other cards coming up in the order. I would just take my easy money, get out of them. If they were 10s and they were offering, 15% below value, absolutely I would be selling them myself because there's a lot more meat left on the bone. Scooble PSA 9 Topps Chrome Rookie. This one I did think I could get maybe 30, 35 out of. Much easier than the base rookie. I didn't. Only got 25. You can see that I ended up making $1 more than the offer. So realistically should have accepted the offer, but I took a little additional risk on there. 2022 update Julio Rodriguez. This is his base rookie gold, numbered out of 2022. Purchase price 60 bucks. So I'm into the card for 85 bucks. I'm valuing this based on recent sales around $300. So I expect to get about $255 off eBay, and PSA offered me slightly under $200. So just not a strong offer from PSA at all. Was not interested in taking that one. Shane Bieber auto PSA 10 out of Pristine. Bought this for 15. This was definitely a bigger card when I bought it. This was probably right around the time he was in his injury, so his stuff hadn't gone down all the way yet. Only sold it for 34, got 29 out of it. That's okay. We take our money and move on to the biggest sale, the biggest profit card, the 2023 Topps Finest Shohei Ohtani Rose Gold PSA 10. If you saw the video, you know that this was absolutely massive. I talked about this. Purchase price of $60. I bought this in mid-2025 before his prices went, crazy high. I was looking at PSA 10s of this card that sold back in that time, and they were selling for $100. So if you'd bought a PSA 10, you could have 10x'd your money. Absolutely crazy. Would never have expected that. Nobody could. So it's always hindsight 2020 on these, but yeah, definitely happy on that flip. Kind of let the dog out. She was complaining. But yeah. $1,000, no offer from PSA. We ended up getting $837 out of it. Very happy with that. Next card, 2024 Topps Update, Mason Wynn Gold PSA 9. This is one I got for basically free from a friend that I bought their cards for like $5 from just because I didn't want them. I'm putting an expected value of $15 on it. Nothing massive there. Paul Skeen, Stars of MLB. This is one that I pulled. Again, not into it for anything other than the grading cost. I expected, looking at comps, to be able to sell it for around $60, and you can see that that PSA offered me that exact $51 I was expecting to get, so no work required on my end. We accepted that offer. Lawrence Butler Pink Refractor out of Topps Pristine, pretty easy grades out of Pristine. I bought it for $30 back before Nick Kurtz, was doing his thing, and Lawrence Butler was kind of the big name on the Athletics. That's certainly changed. I'm putting expected value at 65 on it. I honestly have no idea. It could go as low as like $30. I've got it listed for 80 right now. I haven't had really anyone offer, so might need to change that. But hoping to get 55 out of it would be basically a break even on a PSA 10 pink numbered out of 15 rookie. That's pretty crazy. Northern Lights Corbin Carroll Gold. Bought this for 10. I gemmed one previously and sold it for $100. This one did not gem. I sold it for 17. Got 15.79. So you can see here. Let's see here. What's this? 15.79. This is just out of curiosity. Divided by 17. I need to put an equal sign. Yeah, 93. 93% of the value. Usually you get like 85 to 87, but on some of these cards that it charges, I always have customer pay shipping. They usually pay $7, and sometimes I can get a label for like $4. So on these lower dollar cards, you get a better percentage of your sale. But I do the same thing as a buyer. When I buy, I pay that full shipping price. So it just kind of comes full circle. Yeah. Gavin Williams, this one was a really nice flip too. 2024 Sapphire Red Refractor numbered out of 5. Really nice color match. I would encourage you guys to go back and watch that grading reveal after this video. I'll link it in the description. Just some really cool looking cards. But $45 So I'm all in for about 70 bucks. Sold it for $215 before the card even came back. Again, all these cards I'm saying that I've sold before the cards came back to me in the mail. So this is doing really well. We'll go over the total numbers at the end, but lots of sales before I get the cards back. Quick side note, I don't list them until about a day or two before I'm expecting to get them back, and I might even change that due to problems I have, but that's just so that the buyer's not waiting too long after they bought it to get the card in the mail. I have 3-day shipping on everything on my eBay store, so if I can get it out within those 3 days, I'm comfortable. This time, FedEx messed up my delivery bad. I paid for it to be delivered when I was going to be home. They tried to deliver it when I wasn't at home. I had to get it, another day, pick it up at an offsite FedEx location. It was unfortunate, but it's all right. We got the cards and we got those shipped out already. 2024 Pristine Red Refractor Curtis Mead. These are numbered to 5. Paid 10 bucks on it, so I'm all in for 35. Not a great buy or send in for grading in retrospect, but if anyone wants Curtis Mead, there's only 5 of those, and I doubt anyone else is grading much Curtis Mead stuff at this time, so I'm expecting to lose money on it, but that's fine. It's inventory for the eBay store. This is probably the biggest question mark of the order for me. It's a really nice looking card, 2025 Topps Heritage Ohtani PSA 10 Gold Refractor out of 50. It's the batting average leaders. Luis Rise is on it, and surprisingly, Marcell Ozuna back in 2024 was one of the batting average leaders. He's batting like 150 this year for the Pirates so far, I believe. But I have an expected value of 100 bucks on it. I have no idea. It's an Ohtani Gold Refractor, right? It could, but it's not truly an Ohtani card. So I could see it selling as much as like 250. But I just put 100 on it. It seems somewhat reasonable. We'll just have to see. But that's probably our highest valued card that I haven't sold yet, besides the Julio. This one here, very nice, especially the Kobe after it too. But 2008 Topps, got these in mid-2025 as well. This order was sent in November, so I had some cards I hadn't been grading for a little bit, and then I got back into it. But LeBron James, this one got a gem. Sold it for 600 bucks. You're seeing I got 504 out of it. PSA offered me 488. I declined it. I thought I could get closer to that 600 number, and I did get 600. I had it up for 750. Someone sent an offer for 600. I said, good enough. Take my money and move on. Very happy with that. Bought it for 40. Now these are going for 80 to 100. And then this Kobe, I bought it for 95. These go for like almost 200 now raw. Sold that for 375. You can see I ended up getting almost $30 more than PSA offered me there. So 2 really strong sales on that 2008 Topps basketball set. This one, it's a little cut off, but PSA 9 George Russell Mini Diamond from 2022 Topps Chrome. Those are numbered out of $299, I believe. Bought that for only $1 from Quick Consign. Sold it for 20 bucks. In my reveal video, I messed up saying I thought I had it listed for 20. It actually sold for $20. If that was a gem, it would have been a really nice flip, especially on a $1 card. But George Russell might win the World Drivers' Championship this year. Certainly the favorite. Antonelli's giving him a good run though. But $18.55 out of that, we'll take that on a 9. Probably ended up losing like $8 there. And then here's an Isak Hodger PSA 10 logo fractor. Got a 10, no idea what it's going to sell for. And then this Kaprizov, got a PSA 8 from Sports Illustrated, which is a really tough grade. I have it up for 15 bucks. Again, a couple cards there that probably shouldn't have graded, but that's all right. We take our shots, and when you have some of these bigger cards in there, you can certainly do that, help build out your inventory. So, grading cost, my total bill from PSA was $701.60. Card plus shipping cost, $838. So that's this total here, which is the sum of all the purchase prices. Plus I added $25 onto that for my shipping cost off, which is probably a little bit higher than I paid, but it's always nice to be conservative when looking at these breakdown numbers than, try to stretch yourself and fake reality. If I lost money, I want to know I lost money. I don't want to make it look pretty for you guys. Total cost is just those 2 cells added together, so just in this order over $1,500. So far, we have already sold $2,616 worth. So we've sold almost $1,000 more. Actually, a little more than that, $1,000 more than our total cost. So we're already up $1,000 on this order. That's crazy. Our profit right here, so that's calculated by this expected value. So this is going to be the offers that I accepted from PSA, plus the net value of the cards that I didn't accept an offer from. So that value was $3,200. So my expected profit is just under $1,700, giving us an ROI of over 100%. So we're more than doubling our money, which is great. I had these cards away for 5 months, and I'll see people saying a few things. Main one being that's such a long time. I could flip my cards and make more money with other companies. I've done a breakdown on that, and I'm sure that's true of some cards. But the 3 cards I looked at, waiting 5 months for PSA is still the most cost effective. You make the most money in the long run, because I did some math if you want to go check that video out too, but it's kind of nerdy, but I did break it down and determined that PSA is still the most profitable. But if you compare this to a stock market, S&P, you're trying to get what, 10 to 13% a year on that, which I'm absolutely all for. There's no effort involved there. I've got money and that sort of stuff. But if you've got some other cash and can do something like this, I doubled my money, and we'll call it half of a year, right? We'll say it takes me 2 weeks to get cards in, 5 months to grade it, 2 weeks for me to sell the cards. This is kind of typically what I'm looking at now. Obviously, some of these cards were purchased before then, but that's before I got really back into grading. But if you can double your money twice in a year, if you could turn $1,000 into $2,000, then $2,000 to $4,000, you're looking at a 4x in 1 year, which is really crazy. So really happy with this. PSA grading breakdown, only a 41% gem rate. We had 29 total cards graded. You can see we got 12 10s, 12 9s, 4 8s, and that 1 6. So only a 41%, but we're still making over 100%. So again, really happy with this. You can see I'm building out more tabs here. These are the dates that those orders are expected to come back by. But yeah, really happy with this. I'll be making more of these videos in the future. Like I mentioned before, go check out the grading reveal. eBay store and ComC store are linked in the description. Some of these PSA slabs are up for sale on that eBay store, so check it out. Comment down below what you think of this breakdown. Do you guys like it? Do you not? Obviously, the PSA reveals are going to be more enticing for people to watch. But I do like to do some of these mathematical breakdowns on this channel, show you guys kind of what I see behind the scenes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you did. As always, thanks for watching. 2K for life. Peace.